Okay, this is the week 6, week 6 team builder, where I will be playing the Las Vegas Latias, coached by, I think it's Big Man Nico, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's Nico. I think so, yeah. Um, yeah, this is an interesting matchup because there is a Pokemon there which I call Weavile because it's a Weavile. And it can Terra, and I don't know how to say this, but Terra Ice Triple Axle, two shots my entire team. At least it has a chance to. Every single Pokemon. Max Fizdef Corviknight, it always two shots. Max Fizdef Overcool after an Intimidate. Oh, I mean Choice Band Terra Ice, just so you know. Uh, after an Intimidate, Overcool gets two shot by Triple Axle. Like, I can't remember the exact percentage, I think it was like 18-ish% of the time. Primarina, Max Fizdef gets two shots sometimes by Choice Pantera, Ice Triple Axle. And keep in mind, Weavile's also faster than my entire team. So, it's kind of hard to deal with. Choice Band is not the only Weavile set that messes me up. Sword Stance Protective Pads also screws me over. Because, I really, really need the chip from my Rocky helmets to deal with this. And if it sword stances, then my Pokemon which will get two shot can now get one shot and then die. And if we say, Pokemon's faster after it, Terra's, yeah, well, I just died at Ice Shard, so there's not much I can do about that. It could also be Scarf for Ogerpon in case they want to, if they're banded, right? And they want to lock into a move stronger than Ice Shard, then they can be Scarf and instead click Triple Axle, which is, as previously mentioned, a bit of an issue for my team. Yeah, it's very annoying to play into this Weavile. It's the biggest threat to my team. Second biggest threat to my team is Landorus. Yeah, Lando can kind of just Earth Power everything. All my Pokemon which don't get hit by Earth Power just get bodied by all its other moves. There isn't really much more than that to it. If it runs Gravity, then my whole team just dies to Earth Power. So that's cool. Sludge Wave also lets it hit Primarina and Ogerpon harder. It can run Focus Blast, which will, with Sheer Force Life Orb, two-shot Corviknight, also nukes Kamala instantly. And Darmanitan, which probably dies to Earth Power anyway. Mega Diancie is also a decently big threat into my team, but I feel like it won't come because I think there are other pieces that they'll want more. Toxapex kind of just walls stuff. Toxapex is the best answer to Galarian Darmanitan, and it also Stonewalls Overquill. It is honestly, Kamala can probably destroy a Pex in a 1v1 since it can't be toxic, which is funny, but I'm not bringing Kamala. Maybe I should. I'm playing tomorrow. I'm not going to change the team now. I've done enough mocks with this one. Moltres is their best Ogerpon check because it quad resists grass. That's the whole thing. And Fizdef doesn't get popped by Rock Tomb, unlike Magnezone, which is another good Ogerpon check they have, which Fizdef does get popped by Stomping Tantrum. Moltres can also Terra, however, I am never expecting the Moltres to Terra in this game. I think that the Weavile should always be the Pokemon terrestrializing. Magnezone might come to this game for the sole purpose of literally just to trap Corviknight, because it does that. It has Magnet Pull. Then Shaymin, I feel like, is very likely to come. Grass, Flying, and Ground hits my entire team incredibly hard outside of Corviknight. but it can still beat Corviknight with Seed Flash, Spadef drops, and Iron. What the hell am I saying Iron for? Air Slash flinches. The what is this Pokemon called? Cyclizar. Yeah, I'm good at this game, by the way. I don't really see Cyclizar coming too much. It's not great into my team offensively because unless it runs like Shift Gear, Dragon Claw, Power Whip, Temper Flare, then maybe it's pretty good. But a special set honestly kind of looks better. Like it can run like Overheat or Thunderbolt, and then it can like drop Dracos. It can U-turn and knock off, I guess. Grigigus is kind of just really annoying. It sits on my physical attackers quite well. It's probably one of their better checks to Garchomp, since their other Fizdef mons can get cooked. Like, Pex. Excuse me, I was yawning. Pex gets Earthquaked very easily. Moltres. Garchomp gets Rock Slide and Stone Edge and Power Gem and whatever. And Shuckle can spam hazards. I don't know if they bring Shuckle here. I don't think they bring Shuckle here. I don't think they want to bring webs into an Ogerpon. Because like Weavel's already faster than the entire team. I don't think they need webs. I hope they don't bring Shuckle because I don't like dealing with hazards because I didn't bring any hazard removal this week. Yeah, I should probably get into what I'm bringing. The first thing is Chandelure with Terra Ghost, Taunt, Shadow Ball, Flame Charge, Calm Mind. The point of this set is I can taunt the Toxapex, and then I can Calm Mind in its face and Flame Charge, and then Terra Ghost Shadow Ball rips the team to shreds because their only resistance to Shadow Ball is the Cyclizar, which I don't think is going to come, and the Weavile, which I think is going to Terra into an Ice type. There is a slight issue that Choice Band Terra Ice Ice Shard from the Weavile does do like 60% to Chandelure. Okay, it doesn't do 60. I think it does like 40 to 50 or something, which is a lot. Yeah, this is a potential endgame win con. We can also use Taunt to set up on a Shuckle, because that like the only thing can do, unless it's Rock Tomb, the only thing can do is like Infestation, likely. Yeah. There's not really much else that this would be good for, but it can easily clean and also just Shadow Ball spam in the mid game. Like if I get in on something like Magnezone, which I threaten, or Grigigus, then I can just start Shadow Balling, which is very cool. And it hits the team pretty hard. They don't switch into it super well. Then we have Ogerpon with the... Oh, it's also holding Colbur Berry to help us withstand knockoffs from everything that lands knockoff. So if it's physical Lando, we can eat a knockoff or a crunch because of that. We can eat a knockoff from Weavile. We can eat a lot more knockoffs from the Toxapex. We can eat a knockoff from the Cyclizar. Anyway, second mon on the team is Ogerpon. Ogerpon's holding Yachi Berry, so for the sole reason that if it's Choice Band Weavile, we don't die to Ice Shard instantly, which we would if we weren't Yachi. Then we have Ivy Cudgel, U-turn, Stomping Tantrum, Rock Tomb is just simple for attacks. We have enough speed so that we outrun Landorus. I think that's what it looks like. The max attack, rest, and defense to help us tank the Ice Shard from Weavile. Chandelure has speed so that at +1 we outrun neutral Weavile. And rest in max special attack, rest and defense to help us tank Ice Shard. A common theme is all my offensive Pokemon this week, all their leftover EVs go into defense to help them tank Ice Shard from Weavile because it can revenge kill them pretty easily. U-turn just lets us pivot. It has a stronger hit into Shaymin. We can also use Ogerpon to hard switch into Shaymin because if it goes to Seed Flare, it gets a Spadef drop, and we haven't terrestrialized them at +2 attack, and our U-turn does way more damage. And if Shaymin's been chipped, then we can get off an Ivy Cudgel, which does way more damage. Yeah, Stomping Tantrum lets us nuke the what's this Pokemon called? The Magnezone, and Rock Tomb lets us 2-hit KO the Moltres. Then we have Belly Balls. Belly Bolt wasn't on this team until like a few hours ago, where I did some mocks, and I realized Garchomp was not pulling its weight. Belly Bolt is here as our main check to Shaymin, assuming we don't get Spadef dropped. It's not really a Shaymin check. It's kind of just like a switch in and then try and paralyze it with Discharge. We're basically switching this in to try and bait it into using a specific move. That's the idea. This isn't a Shaymin check. I don't know why I said it was. This is our check to the Magnezone. We switch into Magnezone. We have Mudshot to 2-shot it, because Magnezone is not the greatest Pokemon of all time. Okay, well, that's not why. But, like, we do have Mudshot, which can lower speed of stuff, except the birds. And it also 2-shots Magnezone, which this is our check to Magnezone. It also lets us get decent damage off against the Diancie while slowing it down. This is also probably one of our better Diancie checks. It's just max Spadef for special attack. We have Endure Rocky Helmet, which is specifically so that if the Weavile is Choice Banner and it locks itself into Triple Axle, I can click Endure and guarantee that we get 4 rounds of chip against it, which can put it in range of stuff which I need it to be in range of. We then have Slack Off for healing. Discharge is our attacking move to try and spread paralyses. The main downside of this set, it can't hit Landorus at all. However, if Landorus comes in, I'm probably just going to sack something, because Landorus is very good in my team. If it's Sword Dance Lando, we might just lose, honestly. Sword Dance, Power Hub, Fly to kill Ogerpon, yeah, that could be an issue. I think we can stop a Sword Dance Lando unless I sack the offensive mons for no reason. Speaking of offensive mons, next we have the return of Azel, who is running a Choice Scarf with enough speed to naturally outrun Mega Diancie. No, it's not. I lied. It's not enough speed to outrun Diancie. It's enough speed to outrun the Landorus, because Diancie doesn't have a way to boost its speed by one stage. It gets Rock Polish, but it can't boost its speed by one stage, and it can't hold a Choice Scarf since it's a Mega. And since we're Scarf, we will be faster than it, and since we're Levitate, unless the Landorus sets up Gravity, then we won't be affected by Shock or Sticky Web. So I didn't need to be faster than Diancie. That let us get more defense to help, you guessed it, tank Ice Shard from Weavile. Psychic is just very spammable into this team because there exists a Magnezone, which may not come, and Weavile, which is probably just going to turn itself into an Ice type. So we have both Psychic and Mystical Power. Psychic, we can kind of just click. Mystical Power, we can click if we're in a position where if we land it, we can start snowballing and win the game. U-Turn is for pivoting, and Flamethrower lets us kill Magnezone and Weavile, which is Pokemon that resists Psychic. Then we have our main Wall Breaker, because Azelf is meant to be more of a cleaner. Our main Wall Breaker not named Ogerpon, and that is Primarina. Yeah, it's just specs, max special attack, modest, max HP for defense. Most uncreative set in the history of the world ever. I didn't want to run any speed on this because the only Pokemon which we could speed creep is the Magnezone, since it goes straight from Moltres to Magnezone. And if Magnezone comes, I'm expecting it to be kind of more of a Choice Scarf variant, I think. I don't know. I'm hoping it is. I don't really know. This matchup is very tough, and I can't prep for everything. So I decided more bulk on Primarina is good. Surf and Moonblast into this team is almost unresisted, and the only thing which resists it, Toxapex, always gets 2-shot by Spec Psychic Noise, even if it's max Spadef, unless it's holding a Payapa Berry. This is because Psychic Noise can stop it from having Leftovers Recovery, and it stops it from clicking Recover. Our final move is Toxic. I went with Toxic over Flip Turn for the reason that a lot of the time I don't need to use flip turn because the mons which I would want to flip turn on is when the bulky mon comes in, but a lot of the bulky mons I can just hard switch out of Primarina. And so if I get toxic off onto something like I get toxic onto a shaymin or I get a toxic onto a Kufagrigus, it's very helpful. Moonblast kind of just nukes stuff. I think most games I will just lead Primarina. However, I also kind of need to preserve HP on Primarina in case the Weavile starts getting out of hand or the Landorus gets out of hand, unless there's a Sword Dance, in which case health on Primarina doesn't matter because it'll just kill us at +2 attack. But yeah, health on Primarina is very important. Primarina is very important as a wall breaker in this game. I hope I can position it correctly. I might not be able to, especially with lacking a slow pivot. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Anyway, finally, Overquill, Max Defense, Intimidate. This is my attempt at checking Weavile. We have Haze so that if it Sword Sounds, we can get rid of its attack boost. We then have Toxic to slowly wear it down, put on Timer Barbarage to do damage, and Spikes to sub spikes. We can't hit the Magnezone, but Belly Bolt always switches into Magnezone. And if they get us with a nice double then into Lando, then we probably lose anyway. So what's the point, I guess? Yeah, this matchup's really tough. I don't know how I'm gonna win. I'm gonna be honest. This team is not good. It went through so many different stages of trying so many different things. Nothing really worked. Like the only time that I won is when my opponent that I was mocking against messed up and let something important die, or I got a really, really hard read, which is not a great thing to be relying on, but hopefully the match will go well. It's tomorrow at 3 p.m., so it hasn't happened yet. The last 2 weeks I recorded Team Builder after the match, because the match I want to get earlier, because in week 4 my opponent was just asked and I was free, and I said why not. And in week 5 my opponent was going to play at 1 a.m. and I wanted to help them be able to get to bed earlier by playing earlier. I'm so nice. No, not really, it's just because I had nothing to do and I was ready earlier than the prescribed time. Anyway, this is the team. Hopefully I win. I probably won't, but I'll see you in yeah, this is on the wrong side. This is gonna be the battle for week 6. Yes, I did record live commentary, but I don't know where it went because I can't find the file, so I'm replacing it. 2 things about this team. I changed something. I can't remember. No, I can't remember. In the team builder, I think the Specs Arena will have Toxic. I replaced Toxic with Flip Turn, and whatever the Shadow Law set, that set is in the bin now. And now it's max HP, max special attack, modest, Terra Ghost with Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Will-O-Wisp, and Taunt, I believe, is the full set. That was so that, it can deal with Weavile better. It's still Culberberry though. Anyway, this is a long game. I'm just gonna say this. I'm also recording this a week and a half after it happened, so I don't remember a lot of this stuff. However, let's see how it goes. I can't remember. This will be half post-com and kind of half live. And I was like, what? I did that. Anyway, so they lead Magnezone into Primarina. I hard switch into Belly Bolt. They Volt Switch and do 26. From this damage, I know that it has to be Choice Specs Analytic. And that was near max roll, which kind of just shows how bulky Belly Bolt is. Anyway, Electromorphosis pops while they revealed that. In comes Shaymin. And it goes for Leaf Seed as I Mudshot to try and get it slower up for some reason. Anyway, it also reveals Leftovers, and then I hard switch into Chandelure on a Toxic. I believe that I then just go for Taunt. Yep. As it goes for Leaf Seed, and then I think I just go for Flamethrower. Yeah, I knew that. Which is 21 to this Toxic Max, which is quite a lot. It goes with Baneful Bunker, then I go for Taunt, and then it kills me with Scald. This was silly because the Shaymin is very obviously quite bulky, and the rest of my Pokemon can't actually kill a bulky Shaymin because my Specs Primarina doesn't have Ice Beam, and this is no Flamethrower, and Ogerpon is kind of just bad in terms of breaking the Shaymin because it's not Source Sense U-turn. So that was a mistake. Foreshadowing. Anyway, I go for Psychic, get a crit on the Magnezone, which is nice. Bellybolt comes back in, eats another massive Volt Switch, which does 25. In comes Shaymin, I get Leech Seeded, I go for Slack Off, I hard switch into Overquill as they go for Toxic. No, they go for a second Leech Seed. Moltres comes out as I go for Spikes. I thought I went for Toxic, but no, apparently I spiked, expecting Magnezone to come in. Anyway, then I get off for Toxic into the Moltres, I hard switch into Primarina, they go for Will-O-Wisp. Shaymin comes back in as I Flip Turn, which doesn't do any damage because it recovers it all with leftovers. Ogerpon comes in, I go for U-turn and forget to Terra. Even though my other Terramon has already fainted, and Ogerpon's Terra Grass, so it doesn't change anything. Anyway, forget to Terra, go for U-turn, reveals it to be Spadef, not Fizdef. The Bellybolt one-shot damage didn't show enough because it's such a low roll. Anyway, Azov comes in, gets hit by a Toxic. I believe I go for another U-turn. Yep, I do. And then it synthesizes as I go back into Ogerpon. Yeah, so there's like 50 bajillion turns of this where I just can't break the Shaymin. Right, like I U-turn as they go into Moltres, this guy comes in. I'm pretty sure I Moonblast really aggressively. No, I don't, I Psychic Noise. Same thing, right? I don't want the Shaymin to be able to click Synthesis, and it can't click Giga Drain. I thought it also couldn't click Leech Seed, but apparently it can, because I was like going to Overquill. Because I'm like, oh, all I can do is Toxic, just go Overquill. It clicks Leech Seed. I didn't know it could do that. It just doesn't heal from it. You learn something new every day. Magnezone comes out as I go for Toxic, and it gets a bunch of health back. And now the crit from Azov matters absolutely nothing. In comes Bellybolt, takes another Volt Switch, gets Toxic, goes for Discharge, gets a Para. Ogerpon comes in as they synthesize and they switch, and I U-turn and I go into this, and I snap up. This is a very boring match. I'm going to be honest, it has a ton of turns of me just sandbagging, switching around as this Shaymin gets like so much chip on my whole team, and I just can't break it, and it just keeps synthesizing and lead seeding and poisoning everything on my team. And then this guy compliments the fact that I named my Ogerpon Lady Macbeth. Yay! That's the highlight of this game, honestly. This is a very boring game. Right, like, I just spam U-turn the whole time, basically. And Shaymin was my whole team now because I let this guy die, and I can't switch Overquill in because it'll get Leech Seeded, and then it'll die to the next turn to Giga Drain. Anyway, then I get a read onto this thing with Rock coming in, Rock Tomb finally, so I don't get 6-0'd because Cudgel picks up the kill. Hooray, yay. Anyway, now Kofa Grigus comes in, and I U-turn on this as well. Oh, whoops. Well, that wasn't meant to happen. Let's go back to where we were up to. How many turns was... Oh my god. Okay, anyway, I U-turn on this. Why is it paused? Thank you. Okay, so I U-turn on the Kofa Grigus. I U-turn on the Kofa Grigus, go into Bellybolt, it goes for Iron Defense. I'm pretty sure I go for Toxic because they go into Magnezone. No, they understand as I go for Discharge. Why didn't I go for Toxic? Do not have Toxic. I swear I had Toxic. I can't remember. It's been a while. I didn't want to think about this match afterwards because basically I got 6-0'd by a Shaymin. Anyway, I get up Spikes because they can't defog anymore. I sack my only method of killing the Shaymin to set up a layer of spikes. After already sacking my best method of killing Shaymin for literally no reason. Anyway, point is, I messed up. Pex comes in, Belly Ball comes in, I hard switch Oogapon. As they go Shaymin, I go for U-turn, does 43, they use Synthesis, and they heal way more damage than I'm doing. U-turn again, I don't sack Belly, I don't know. Pretty sure I'm trying to make Primarina faster than this, but it's 1 point faster when it's at -1 speed, so that's amazing. Anyway, yeah, this happens. I click Flamethrower really aggressively, even though I'm choice locking this thing has a protection move. Then I sack Belly Ball for a Mud Shot, and then I realize, oh no, it does not make this Pokemon faster. Then I get the Psychic Noise, which means that they have to switch, and so I switch into Azelf, and then back into Primarina for the Protect so I don't die to Poison, and then they Protect again, and now I'm about to die with all 3 of my Pokemon. I just go for Moonblast as 46, I Synthesis, I Moonblast again. It's finally in U-turn range. But then this thing's here, so I U-turn and then I Psychic and then it kills me, and then Pex comes in. And I Cudgel and it Cudgel and it recovers and it protects, and I Stomping Tantrum, I don't know why it doesn't get boosted power when they protect. It should. Yeah, so, basically, right, I got stolen out by the Shaymin. Yeah, sorry about this being lower quality. I can't really remember what happened, and I honestly did not enjoy playing this game because I played really badly. So, hopefully I play better next week. Fun fact, I'm recording this after I played the Week 7 game. And I'm about to record the Week 17 build, which I forgot to do before the Week 7 game. Anyway, I have been very caught up in, like, doing stuff for Christmas and whatever. I think. I don't actually know. I think I kind of just forgot. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.